I'm going to be Google translating name of the plants from Plants vs Zombies 2 100 times, and then get the result I get.
Scaredy Sigma Pomni.
Before we proceed to the video, my friend Fum Shroom is asking you to subscribe. Please click that subscribe button. It's free, and it will help me a lot. Starting with Fum Shroom. I used Google Translate 100 times and ended up with the word blue. I spent about a minute brainstorming an idea, and came across the game Rainbow Friends. Since it's quite popular, I decided to transform Fum Shroom into blue from the game. This meant I would be completely changing its body. I started by redrawing a small version of blue from Rainbow Friends to match Fum Shroom's height. In just one quick step, I created a small version of blue as Fum Shroom. For the larger Fum Shroom, I simply adjusted the body length of this blue Fum Shroom. And there you have it, the blue Fum Shroom. It turned out pretty well. The sun producing animation looks good, although his eyes didn't blink. But overall, it's a great result. What does it look like in its huge form? Let's see. Oh, it's so satisfying. However, it seems a bit off when producing suns. To make it more accurate, I decided to change the sun to a crown. Since blue has a crown, this adjustment improved the design significantly. Now, it looks much better. I want to see a full lawn of Fum Shroom. Let's see. The crown as a sun is fit perfectly. I'd love to seeing a full lawn of these, growing at the same time. I would rate this design a 9 out of 10. It turned out really well, and I'm glad I changed the sun to a crown. It made it much more accurate compared to the first version. Moving on to the next plant, Fum Shroom. I translated it 100 times. And I got Bing Bong. So I'll be making Fum Shroom as Bing Bong from Inside Out, the character that sacrifices himself in the movie. Bing Bang is a pink elephant character. So, I changed Fum Shroom's color to pink, similar to the reference. To change its appearance, I added big ears and a nose. A heart-shaped nose would fit. And I also adjusted the face and mouth to make it much better. For the final touch, I added clothes, a hat, and a bow tie. And we have Bing Bong Shroom. It looks weird when moving, because his eyes are not blinking, but it's not that bad. I also noticed his attack animation, it looks funny. Because Bing Bong Shroom whole face shrinks and it looks so bad. I wonder if 10 Giga Gargantuars can stand against 50 Fum Shrooms. Let's see. I think Giga Gargantuars can defeat these 50 Fum Shrooms. Giga Gargantuars were easily defeated. However, the imps finished the job, so the 50 Fum Shrooms lost this time. Overall, I would rate the design an 8.5 out of 10. Some animations, like the eyes, are not functioning, and the animation is a little bit off. However, the design is really cool. For the next plant is Hypnos Shroom. I translate Hypnos Shroom 100 times and I got Toilet Man. The idea that came up in my mind is
Scaredy Sigma Pomni Digital.
My first idea is to put a zombie head on the toilet. But it looks like in Zombicide. So I decided to change it to Hypnos Shroom. That makes more sense than a zombie head. After finalizing the drawing, we have Scaredy Shroom or Scaredy Toilet Shroom. I have an error when I'm putting this in the game. I troubled adjusting his size, since this size is too short, and this is the limit. But it's turned out well. Let's make an experiment who's gonna defeat 3 football zombies. Let's see if Gargantuar Zombie can stand against 3 football zombie. In this battle I think Gargantuar Zombies wins, because it's more tougher than 3 football zombies. Oh, the Gargantuar didn't fight. So the battle is tie. Let's try it against 20 imp zombie. Let's see the battle. The football zombie defeated easily. It's not that bad. Because the imps has a huge number. Let's back to Scaredy Shroom. I would rate this design 8 out of 10, although Hypnos Shroom design is really sick. The animation is not that cool because it's moved forward and backward. It's as better that this is just staying in the Hypnos Shroom or spinning just like Scaredy Toilet. For the next one, Scaredy Shroom, I translated it 100 times and got a cat. I was thinking about whether to make it a real cat or not, and I remembered Catnap from Poppy Playtime, a famous character in the game. So, I decided to make Scaredy Shroom into Catnap. I started by changing the color of Scaredy Shroom to violet. Since Catnap is a cat, Scaredy Shroom would need fur, so I added some fur texture along with cat ears to make it look like a cat. For its eyes, I changed them to black with white pupils. For the final touch, I added a moon necklace. And there you have it, Catnap Shroom. This one turned out so nice. I like how it moves perfectly. Let's see its hiding animation. The animation is cool and so adorable. Let's check if Scaredy Shroom can defeat 3 imps. Let's see. Scaredy Shroom can only kill 2 imp zombies, but I think, if Scaredy Shroom wasn't scared, it could defeat all 3 imps. I want to share a fact about imps. Did you know that imps have the same health as a normal zombie? When you compare the health of a normal zombie and an imp, it's exactly the same. The normal zombie looks tougher because it's taller than the imp. For the rating, I would give this design a 9 out of 10 because the design is well executed. Oh wait, why is Anger here? Who do you think this plant is? Next up is the lily pad. After translating it 100 times, we ended up with the word prohibited. I searched the meaning of prohibited and saw a sign that inspired me. I came up with the idea of making a lily pad into a sign that means no zombies allowed. I started by creating a steel circle. Then, added a zombie head with a red X sign on it. Similar to how it's painted on this reference. To enhance it, I added eyes. It's a very simple process. And just like that, we have the sign pad. Yes, I know the name isn't that great. This design isn't exceptional, but it's definitely cleaner than other designs. Let's see a full of this in a pool. This lily pad looks really a circular sign that says no zombies allowed in this pool. Overall, I rate this design a solid 9 out of 10. The design isn't bad, and the animation moves perfectly. Next, we have squash. I used Google Translate 100 times, and the result was pumpkin. My idea was simple: change the squash into a pumpkin. I started by making it orange, leaving the stem green. Then, I carefully removed the bumps on the squash's face. And now, we have a pumpkin. Well, not exactly, it's still a squash, just made to look like a pumpkin. It looks a little like a pumpkin, but the shape is not perfect since squash and pumpkins are different. I only changed the color, so it doesn't look very good. Next, I tested how many squashes it takes to defeat a Giga Gargantua zombie. It took 4 squashes, which surprised me because I thought it would take 3. For the rating, I'd give this design a 5 out of 10. The only change is the color, so it's not very good. Moving on, let's translate jalapeno 100 times, and the result is donut. I started by drawing the dough and shaping it into a donut. It looked uncooked. So, I decided to put it in the oven. Let's wait about half an hour for it to bake. After 30 minutes of cooking, let's check on the donut. It looks perfectly cooked. Now, let's add some strawberry flavor and sprinkles. To make it come alive, I drew eyes on it, similar to the jalapeno. For the final touch, I added a hat, and there we have it, a spicy donut. Let's see if this worked perfectly. The animation looks good though. I really want to see the Zombotany form of this because it might look so cool. The Zombotany version looks pretty good, a zombie walking around with a donut head. For the rating, I'd give this a 10 out of 10. I really like how it turned out, and the animation looks amazing. Next, we have Spikeweed. After translating it 100 times, we got Big Mouth. My idea is to replace his spikes with teeth, since translation provide Big Mouth. For its body, I wanted to make it look like lips. I started by drawing the lips. Then, I replace all spikes with teeth. And it started to look really interesting. Lastly, I added eyes to make it resemble Spikeweed. And we're done. Let's see how it looks in the game. I noticed that his eyes don't seem to be in the right position, which makes it look strange. Now, let's check its attack animation. The attack animation looks natural and clean. Overall, I'd rate this one a 7 out of 10. Because there are some animation and design position error in the game. Second to the last, we have Torchwood. I translated it 100 times. And the result was anger. So, I decided to make Torchwood look like anger from inside out. This design feels fit. Because anger also has flames coming out of his head when he's really mad. That connection made the concept even more exciting to create. Now, let's make the design. I started by redrawing anger, because I couldn't find a reference of him in a side view. This meant I had to draw him from scratch. I worked on matching Anger's proportions to Torchwood's height and length, to make the design as accurate as possible. After some adjustments and final touches, we were done. Let's see how it looks in the game. Wow, this turned out so cool. The design fits perfectly, and I'm really happy with how it came out. The details and overall look exceeded my expectations. Overall, I would rate this design a solid 10 out of 10. Last on the list is Tall Nut. I translated it 100 times and got Christmas tree. So, I searched a Christmas tree on Google and found this one. I used it as his body and just added eyes under the leaves. For the final touch, I changed the color using a filter. And there we have it. Tall Nut as a Christmas tree. This transformation fits perfectly. 'Cause Tall Nut is tall, and so is the Christmas tree. Sadly, his eyes didn't blink. Because if I added Tall Nut's original eyes, they wouldn't be in the right position and it would look bad. Moving on, let's see a full lane of this design. This looks so cool, it's really giving Christmas vibes. When I placed a full lane of Christmas tree Tall Nuts, it started to look a little boring. So, I decided to add a bunch of ladder zombies from Plants vs. Zombies. This turned out to be really funny. The way they place ladders on the Christmas trees is hilarious. Overall, I would rate this design a solid 10 out of 10. Definitely gives off Christmas vibes. That is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. And see you on the next one.